So today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a fun thumbnail for your YouTube videos and how easy it is to do using Photopea online editor. So the first thing I'm going to do is open Photopea by going to www.photopea.com. And the image that I have is this one here. The video that I'm making for my channel is called 5 apps that I absolutely cannot live without. This is a screenshot from the countdown on my video. And I figured it would make a good backdrop for the thumbnail. Because as you know, the thumbnail is the most important part of the video aside from the content itself. So what I've done is I've just simply taken the picture off my computer and drug it into the screen. And as you can see now, this is the background for my thumbnail. Now I'm going to just make a very basic thumbnail here. So what I want to do is I just want to kind of play with it a little bit and kind of get a feel for how I want it to look. So I'm just going to start here. This is the first layer, the background layer. I've got this one background layer here on the right. So I want to create a new text layer just by clicking on the type tool. And I'm just going to pick a random spot and start typing. Now, as you can see here, I've got the words "the top" in my favorite font, which is Bangers. It's a free font. You can type that up and it should pull up for you. What I want to do is go over here and click on character. And then next to baseline shift, click on the box here, and this will let me choose the different color that I want. I'm going to go with lime green and just select that. Okay, and as you can see now, it's got top. I've already chosen my size up at the top, 250 pixels, and I may actually want to go a little bit bigger. So I'm going to go 300 there. I'm going to kind of get an idea of how it looks. So I'm going to click on the move tool. Okay, so I'm going to start typing. Okay, so I have this layer selected here, and to move it up here to the top area, and it does kind of blend a little too much, so I'm going to just go over here to this layer. I'm going to right click on this text layer and choose blending options. Now I can have some fun with it. So I want to click on stroke, which as you can see puts a outline, and then when I select stroke here, I can click on the color and change it. And I think I want to go a little gray. So I'm just going to kind of go over here to a light gray and then click OK. Now it's a little thin, so I want to go over here to size and increase it a little bit. See how it makes it pop a little more. And then of course I can change the opacity if I want, but I want it to have that gray outline to it. And of course you can choose whatever kind of blend mode you want. You can just kind of play with it. There's no right or wrong. It's whatever makes you happy. Sometimes you find one you like just by accidentally clicking on something and it turns out pretty cool. In this case, I'm just going with normal, and I like a little wider outline. So I'm going to go about 14 pixels. But the font is still maybe a little small. So I'm going to go back to the text tool over here, so I can stay on this layer. I'm going to select the text by just clicking right here, and I'm going to go back to the font size up top. Now I'm going to try 350. Okay, so you can see it changed a little bit. Click on the move tool, and now I can kind of put it right about there. I kind of like that. Now what I'm going to do is, instead of going through that whole process again, it's easier just to duplicate this layer and make changes to it. So I could click on text, create a new layer, go through all those blending options and all that. But I like this text, so I've liked the way it's finished. So all I'm going to do over here is I'm going to right click on this layer, duplicate the layer, left click, and now I can use my move tool, and I've duplicated that layer. See how it renamed it the top copy? I'm going to change that to everyday, so I can just look at the layers and know which one is which without having to figure it out. Usually what I do is I just click on the eyeball, and whatever disappears, that's the correct layer. But this way, if you label it, it's just super easy. So now I've got this, but I don't want it to say the top. So with this layer selected, I'm going to go back to the text tool, and I'm going to highlight the text and change it. Now this is a little too big for what I have planned, so I'm going to highlight the whole text, and I'm going to shrink that font down to about 250. I think that will work. I'm going to put it right about there, and then I'm just going to duplicate it again. Right click on the layer, duplicate layer, go up here to the move tool, and now I can put it there, and then rinse and repeat. Rename the layer by just double clicking on it and typing over it, just like that. And then while that layer is selected, go to the text tool, and then type in the word I want it to say. In this case, programs, and just go up here to the rectangle tool to deselect it, and just kind of take a look and see how I like. My original plan was to make it the top 5 everyday programs that you need, but I think instead, to take advantage of the amount of space I have, I'm going to change it to my top 5 everyday programs. So I'm going to go back to the layer here that says the top, which is right here. Just click once, go to the text tool, just select the word I'm replacing, like so. Click on the move tool and just kind of position it how I like it. Now I can move these texts down a little bit. So I'm going to go to the word everyday, click on it, and because the move tool is still selected, I can just come down here like this, and then the same thing with programs, except I need to double click and change this to programs. So that is selected. I can bring that down and then just deselect it by clicking on the rectangle tool. And now I can sit back and look at it. And as you can see, it's a very basic thumbnail, but it is a little eye-catchy because of the colors. And without putting a whole lot of time and energy into it, I've managed to create a decent little thumbnail. So I might want to have a little bit of fun with it. I'm going to open up a new window. I'm just going to see, I'm going to type in smiling girl transparent. I'll click on images, tools, large. Just got to find one that I like. I'm going to click on this one. Okay, so here's the page with this transparent image. I'm going to click on free download. And then I will save it. So now I have it saved to my computer. I'm going to close these windows. And then I'm going to take that photo and drag it into Photopea up here on the toolbar. You have to put it here so you can use it as a separate layer. So click up here. I'm just going to hit Control A to highlight it, edit, copy merged, go back to my main image, edit, paste. Now, as you can see, that's really, really large. Now what I can do is I can take that, shrink it down, just go to the corners here and just pull it down. And I can fit that onto just like that. Just drag it around till it's positioned where I like it. Now what I want to do is I'm going to go and take this layer right here. I'm going to move it over a little bit. Like that. Now that image has a little bit of depth and it's not so plain. And if nothing else, it's an attractive girl. It will catch attention. One of the things I've seen on YouTube is that people randomly put attractive people in their thumbnails because people click on attractive people. Hopefully, the combination of my quality video, in addition to the visual appeal of an attractive person, will encourage people to click. So that's all you got to do to create a basic thumbnail. And the last thing I always do, mainly because if I want to make a change, I don't want to have to go through this whole process again, is I always save the project. So I go up here to File, save as PSD, choose save file, and I'll just call it project. Got it in the correct folder. Save. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is go and export it as a JPEG so I can upload it as a thumbnail. Choose 100%. I'm going to change my image size to 1280 by 720 so it fits for YouTube thumbnails. Click Save. Click OK. And I'm going to just call it thumbnail. So now I've got the project saved and the image saved. I'm going to close this and I'll show you once you've the project saved. Say for example I need to make a change. I'll open the project. I can just click it and drag it from my computer right into Photopea, and as you can see all the layers are right there. So that's why you always save your projects unless you are 100,000% sure that you do not need to make any changes. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you click on that like button. If you enjoy this type of content, make sure you click on subscribe. Click that notification bell to be notified anytime I upload new content like this. Thanks so much for watching.